All right. Hello, Facebook. Welcome to Team C&E, and we are going to try to see if we can get our final interview number 4, with our final speaker of the 5 speakers that we're going to have in September at our He Leads conference there in Benton, Arkansas. And so I'm going to give it a few minutes. I know that Dexter Kilgore in just a few moments. So while we're waiting on Pastor Dexter, I want to touch base with you guys again and let you kind of know what's been going on, or just kind of refresh your memory or whatever, right? And so basically what we're doing is we're doing live interviews with all the speakers of the upcoming He Leads Men's Professional Leadership Conference, just to kind of give you an idea of what's coming. All the speakers minus one. Chris Rollins is a new speaker. He's in that Benton, Arkansas area, so we asked him to come alongside of us. But all these speakers spoke with us in January at our launch, if you will, of the He Leads conference, and so they're coming with that experience and what it did impactfully in their life, right? And then where is it going to go here in the next few months as we go into Arkansas. So these interviews are just to kind of help you understand what we're doing, what we're bringing to the table, get you excited, get you ready to go. And so that's why we're doing it. We ask you to share the videos, we ask you to comment on the videos, we ask you to invite other people into this thing. So we're just going to kind of wait a few minutes. I may only be on here for a few minutes and then hop off. I don't know. I know Dexter said he had some stuff going on, but we're shooting for 4, and I wanted to honor that time in case he was able to get on. So we're going to hang tight for a few minutes. One of the things I really wanted to talk about was just getting the investment in yourself by registering for this is such a big deal. Don't wait to the last minute to do this. As men, we procrastinate all the time. We wait till the last minute, but I'm telling you, you don't want to do that. Early bird pricing ends right at the beginning of next month. And the price goes up, and then there's limited seats. There's all these things that procrastination is going to work against you. So if you want to be there, or you know someone who needs to or should be there, get with them right away. Get them invested, get them registered. We don't want you to miss out on this, because this is going to be life-changing. While we can say all we want that we feel that you need this, we truly believe that this is something that every man should want in their life. Any man who's looking to grow personally in their relationship with their spouse or their children or anybody in their family, their close friends, in their business relationships, whether they are a business owner or they're working for a business, all these things are going to be impacted, and it's going to put you into the next level of your potential. Our goal, each and every speaker, our goal is to uncap that potential in your life and to let it basically run free. You should be living in the fullest potential possible, because you were created with unlimited potential. And so each speaker's main motive is to kind of dig into our core being and start unraveling and opening up all those avenues to release that unlimited potential in you, so that this world can really be impacted by the gifts that you bring to the table. So as we go through this, I'm just sharing my heart. Let me check real quick. I just got a message. I don't know if that was all right, so Pastor Dexter just texted me, said he's about to get on here, so as soon as we see him on, we'll get started. But I just wanted to really share my heart with you guys with the He Leads Conference, where it came from. It came from the need for men to regain our heading, for us to start really becoming what it was we were created to be. We've lost our way as men, and our families are suffering. Our cities, our communities, our businesses, our livelihood as the humankind is suffering. You look all over the place, and it's the broken family that really seems to be the hinge upon where a lot of the failures in our society are happening. And it really takes us as men standing up and being accountable, being responsible, taking ownership and saying, here I am ready to step into the role. It's not about lording over some sort of authority that we believe we may have. It's about taking responsibility and ownership as a leader. As leaders, we are to take more of the blame and less of the accolades. Right? We're supposed to be the ones that say, "Hey, as a leader, I'm going to take this on so that you don't have to." And that look at that in our families. If we as men did that in our families, how much less stressful would our lives be? You talk about relationships with our kids, especially how strained they can be because we don't lead well. And so each speaker, again, is tapping into that unlimited potential, that ability to connect and interact and do these things with each other is just absolutely phenomenal. It's going to blow your mind. One testimony I'll share with you real quick while Dexter's getting logged in is one of the guys I'm close with through a networking group that we work together with. And he came to the conference and he actually said two things happened. Immediately, he left early. He had come down with something. He had left halfway through, so he only got half of the speakers. He didn't even get the back half. But he left early, and he told me, even in that short amount of time, what we shared changed two things. One, he rewrote a speech he was giving to a political meeting. He was coming at it at a completely different perspective. He was at our conference, and what we taught about connection and relationship and how we talk and all that kind of stuff. He changed his speech. He said that at the end of the speech, he actually felt more comfortable giving it, and at the end of it, he got more people saying how good he did, how they really related with what he said, and how it really impacted their lives. That in and of itself is amazing, because we guarantee that you are going to get at least one thing that you're going to implement immediately. And so that was one. The second was a relationship with his spouse. He said that there was a communication with the spouse that began to happen that had never been there before. And it all stemmed from, he put it right to what we talked about in just the first half of the conference. So I'm telling you, this is going to be impactful. And there, as you guys see, he is popping up right now, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Pastor Dexter Kilgore. Sir, how are you?
Man, I'm well.
Can you hear me?
You said I can hear you. You said the man, the myth, and the who?
The legend. You are a
You
legend
talking
in your
about
own right.
someone
We
else,
all
right?
are. No, sir. We know you're a legend. That's why I love having you part of this conference. I love having you as a brother and a friend and everything, man. I mean, your family, right? So,
Got you.
yeah, absolutely, you're a legend, and it's okay to be a legend because we know where that comes from. Amen.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm coming through loud
So,
and clear.
I was just giving background. Oh, okay, good. So I was just giving a little bit of background on the conference, what we do, kind of, what the purpose was. And today's a little different. I'm not, dressed up all to, like I normally am. I'm not suited and tied up because I'm out here in the backyard, doing some work, preparing for something we have going on tomorrow. And so that ties right into what you speak about. So what I wanted to do is first, Dexter, just give us a little bit about who you are, and then we'll kind of we'll open up some of that other stuff. So just kind of tell everybody who you are, what it is you do, why this conference is a big deal for you.
Well, I'm Dexter Kilgore, of course, born and raised in Georgia. I generally tell people I'm Georgia born, Georgia bred, and when I die, I'm gonna be Georgia dead. So Georgia is the spot that I'm trying to hang out in, but it seems like doors are opening going into a totally different area of the region. And so I'm looking forward to those opportunities, more specifically down to the Florida region. And so down to the Sunshine State to possibly spend some time down there. But what I do,
Yeah.
I do a lot of things. I spend time inside of jails and prisons trying to empower men and boys to understand that that's truly not the place where they should be. And I pastor a church, of course, and I am a certified leader, coach, trainer, teacher for the John C. Maxwell team. Truly enjoy taking those particular trainings that we utilize, of course, as you know, to go throughout society and training people how to lead. And so ultimately, every organization, when you begin to look at that organization, you will discover that if there's a challenge with that organization, it comes from one or two things, I believe. and I'm pretty much already into what I'm going to talk about on that day. One is leadership, and leadership, everything rises and falls on leadership. Or if you would look at the natural body, everything rises and falls on your head. If your body is aching, I assure you it's something that went through your head or went through your mind that encouraged you to do something that is right, wrong, or whatever the case may be. And so leadership is definitely it. And the piece that I talked about in Maryland, which I truly love, and that is talking about serving. I love Chick-fil-A. One of the things that when you go into Chick-fil-A, they say when you hey, welcome to Chick-fil-A, and then you say thank you, and then they say my pleasure. And they think it is a pleasure to serve. And I think that when we serve people, somewhere I read in this old ancient book, he says the greatest among you shall be servants. And I believe if you find the ability to serve anybody, it's as I tell young men and boys everywhere I've traveled. If you find a means of serving people, you'll never go unemployed. Let me say that again. If you find the means of service, you will never go unemployed. That means if you're picking up trash, that means if you are walking somebody's dog, we live in a society that they are extremely busy and doing so much stuff that you can turn anything into a service. Walking someone's dog or taking somebody's laundry to the laundromat, finding a way to serve. Service is key. Even as one of my points is showing Christ by serving others. And so that's one of the reasons why I believe, and this is my personal opinion, I believe that the church has really fallen away and fallen short and missing the mark. As I was, and I'm kind of looking rough today too because I just got from the gun range, and trying to hit the target. Get it? Here it is. They missed the target simply because they don't understand that our ultimate job and our ultimate position is serving. Serving, even with husband and wives teams, uh, children and parent teams, if you can learn to serve one another, see who can beat one another serving. And I see several people join in that I know. I just want to give a shout out to them. Hey, Patricia Gant, one of my neighbors, Bishop Kenneth Curry, and BJ Carrington. Hey, thank you guys for joining in with us. I may miss some, but however, I miss you. John Martin, thank you, man, for joining in. And so, again, service is so key that if you parents learn how to serve children, and then on the flip of the script, children learn how to serve parents. Even when it comes down to knowing how to serve, there's this guy that wrote a book called The Five Love Languages. And when you learn how
Yeah.
to serve in a language in which that individual speaks, I think all the arguments will go away in the home. I think all of the divorce rates will go down in marriages. I believe all of the chaos that are going on in our communities, if we were to ever learn how to serve one another by acts of service or words of affirmation, or giving someone some type of act of just physical touch, hey, I just patting on the shoulder, that a boy, way to go, good job, that type of thing, and letting people know, and just giving people gifts. I like gifts myself. And it doesn't have to be much. If I could just rip open an envelope and it's a card, hey, I love those type of things. So hey, that's kind of the things that if you can make it to Arkansas, and I'm telling you, you are in for a treat. Or if you can't make it to Arkansas, and you know individuals that are in Arkansas, please let them know that He Leads is on the way. And man, I'm telling you, we're gonna reap havoc in that region as we did in Maryland. We had roughly 200,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, plus guys that showed up, and their lives were changed. And so again, man, it's about service. And serving people it's an opportunity. Use it as an opportunity to be a blessing and be an encouragement to others. So, man, thank you for allowing me to share just a little bit of some of the things, and we have a little bit more. But thank you so much. You may have some questions for us.
No, man, it's my pleasure having you because, I mean, like I said, we have a group of amazing, dynamic speakers that are just going to unleash some things in these men that exactly what you're talking about. You know, creating a desire to serve. I feel that one thing that's missing in our society, and especially with our men, is that desire that to serve others. It's the mentality of what can I get out of this and who's going to serve me. And like you said, it's we got to flip that on its head and realize once you begin operating from a service mindset, how impactful that is in your life and how things perspectives will shift, mindset will shift, and how things will start happening in your life that you would like to have happen, but would never work from the other perspective.
Yeah.
I love where you're coming from. So, no, I appreciate your heart. I appreciate where you're coming from. I bet everybody watching is going to appreciate that. So, next question I really have then, since you kind of opened that up, is what did you take, like, what was your big takeaway from He Leads Baltimore? And how is that going to bridge the gap for you to then, like, up your game, if you will, to bring more of an impactful um, message, if you will, or whatever, into Arkansas and even beyond?
My takeaway was the speakers that were on the panel with us. I mean, those guys were extremely, extremely powerful. They brought forth great information. They were interacting with the crowd. They were talking to people even after we left the stage, and giving people reinforcement and giving follow up and follow through on what they had disclosed throughout their speeches, and letting people know that they were reachable. And so that in itself let me know that they had a servant mentality. And so my other thing is, you said upping my game. I'm really going to have to up my game, because I noticed that the guys were like little birds that were being feeding, and they were constantly wanting more. And I'm like, man, I didn't prepare enough. So this time when I come, I have probably about 5 hours worth of material. And so therefore, if we start on that particular day and continue on, I have so much more material. Even like one quote that I have here, servant leader quotes, Robert K. Greenleaf, he says, good leaders must first become good servants. And it's
Yeah.
amazing how leaders will ask their subordinates to do things that they're not doing. If you are a good leader, you should be the first to serve your people. In CEOs and COOs and CFOs, if they were to ever learn how to serve, all of a sudden they'll see their people begin to serve, because people do what they see being done. And many people fail to realize we teach what we know, but we reproduce who we are. And so when you
Wow.
go out and I go out, and we wonder why our children act the way the children act, they say you know where the apple came from. The apple don't fall far from the tree. And I generally say, if the tree is on a hill, you know where the apple rolled from. And so if you see your children not liking to serve, it may have something to do with you not liking to serve, or your husband's not liking to serve. I have a friend of mine that's from Florida, and man, he and his family, they get in competitions of who's going to serve who first. And I think in terms
Wow.
of, my wife and I, when we first got married, man, we were fighting over the remote like nobody's business. Or should I say, we were having aggressive dialogue or heated discussions, or however you want to powder that up. But however, we were
Just,
fighting over
just
that
bring
remote.
you, Dexter. Come bring it.
Yeah, we were going back and forth with that remote, and but now it's like it's so joyous, because we're like, you want the remote? No, you want the remote. No, you want the remote. No, you want the remote. And I just slide it over there and give it to her. And so it's a good thing. It brings forth health and healing and wholeness within the family. Again, service is key. Like John C. Maxwell says, true leadership must be for the benefit of the followers, not to enrich the leader. And so
Wow.
when you are a leader, your ultimate focus should be the benefit of those who follow you. And so even on my everyday job, I'm walking down the hallways, and I see paper on the floor. I try to be intentional on allowing others see me to pick up paper on the floor, even though that's not the thing that I'm assigned to. Why? Because now all of a sudden people begin to pick up on it, and all of a sudden we have a clean facility. And then if we were to take that on the outside, we have a clean yard. And if we take that in our community, we have a clean community. We take that in our city, our state, our country, our world. Guess what we have? We have a world that is full of people with a servant mentality and doing things for the benefit of those who follow them.
Wow. I love see one thing I love that you bring is the mentality. I mean, and being John Maxwell and being just in this world, we love to multiply that value. But what you're talking about is that exponential multiplication beyond anything you can imagine. That importance of just one little act, of one little moment, having that worldly impact. Like, and I don't mean worldly in a worldly sense, but I'm talking scope, having an impact that is just going to change everything for generations to come. And I
Yeah.
think that that's what I love about you as a speaker. You bring a whole new energy. You bring a whole fresh perspective that guys relate to. And so I'm excited for what you're bringing in Arkansas. And I know that one of the greatest things I heard about the conference, and this came from all the speakers so far, Clyde, Dom, you have all mentioned this, was that interaction with the guys in the audience, being able to speak to each other, to be able to have access to us as the speakers, to not be closed off, but to, that whole engaging, interacting, not just during your session, but throughout the whole conference, being able to talk and
Yeah.
interact, and just, that was for me one of the most impactful moments, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. If there's something that you're looking forward to in Arkansas, what would that be?
The thing that I'm looking forward to is to being in an environment where most men don't get that opportunity. And in that environment we had in Maryland, it was I saw such people being so transparent, and most men don't have that opportunity or that safe place where they can go. That's why most men, when they get to their houses, they build man caves because they don't have a place to kind of go and just be them and be able to
Yeah.
tell things and be a safe place. And so that's the thing that I'm looking forward to again, is to be in that place. And I mean, even one incident that I remember, and I'm so looking forward to that happening in Arkansas. And that was one guy that had his two sons there, and he began to open up, and his sons, they began to open up, and all of a sudden I began to see healing amongst them. And then we had like a little private session over some barbecue, and we allowed them to walk a little bit deeper into what they were dealing with. And man, I'm like, I can only imagine what is going to happen as they continue to go into those type of environments. Again, I'm looking forward again to men having a safe place where they can be open, transparent, as the Bible says it, naked and unashamed. Because I generally tell people we all have issues. Nobody's exempt. Or we all have messed up. It's just that some people have issues that require more tissues, but we all have issues. And
I've
so,
never heard that one. That was good.
yeah, we all got issues. Some got big issues, some have little issues, some have in between issues, but all have issues. That's why I love the word, because the word talks about that if I sin or I mess up, I can't look at someone else and point the finger at them because I missed the mark as well. And all of it is on the same level. And so,
Yeah. I think I'm losing you. I think we might have lost Pastor Dexter. Kind of bouncing in and out there. If he pops back on, we'll get him on. But I mean, I think you guys are getting a point here. Pastor Dexter's going to bring it. He brought it in Maryland, just like all the other speakers did. It's all about adding value to you so that you can go multiply it out. It's all about representing true identity as a man in this world, and what that looks like. Taking ownership, taking responsibility, doing what needs to be done, um, even if you don't necessarily want to do it. But as Pastor Dexter's saying, serving is the ultimate form of leadership. You cannot be a leader without being a servant. And it's not about, and I don't know, Pastor Dexter, can you hear me? You're breaking up, buddy. I think we lost Pastor Dexter for good there. I don't know if I was talking over him or not, but if you guys are watching this, I mean, You got to let people know that this is coming to Arkansas. This conference is beyond a doubt the best conference you are going to ever be a part of. It's premier. It is top of the line. It is one of the best things out there. You guys can't miss this. So you got to share this. It's a limited seating. It's very limited seating. And the prices are going to go up in just a couple weeks. So I'm going to put the link to the registration page in the. You guys want to get on there. You want to get your tickets. Get yourself invested so that you can start really impacting your own life and start leading yourself and then leading others. That's what it's all about. There's Pastor Dexter. You back, buddy? I don't know. You might not have a good connection. I still can't. I still can't hear you. But anyway, I may cut this off. Are you there?
You with me?
No worries.
Can you
But
hear me?
I think we pretty much nailed it, man.
Yeah.
But what I'll do is I'll let you go. I know you got a busy afternoon. I got to do a lot of work around the house. You know, you got to do my duty, my manly duty, right, and help Emily out. But man, it is a
Got
pleasure. It always is. I look forward. We're gonna try to do a couple more interviews right before over the next month or so. So let's look forward to that. And I'll be in Arkansas August 2nd through 8th. So I'm gonna try to go out there and just kind of reignite this fire again, get these guys fired up. But any last words that you would say to any men out there to get them pumped up for this?
I would just say three things that I shared when we were in
Yep,
Maryland. If
I
you can
got
hear
you
me,
now.
can you hear me? Okay. And, and so the three things that my main focus was centered on following the golden rule. In other words, we know that's do unto others as you would have them to do unto you, and then act with grace. In other words, just like you have the grace period to pay bills, you want people to give you grace and time to take care of your bills. So therefore, you want to do the same thing for them. And then give praise was the final thing. In other words, when people do things right, catch them doing things right and celebrate them versus when they do things wrong, we always lift that up. And so even with my granddaughter earlier today, I caught her doing something right that she asked me to do. And I said, thank you so much for doing that which I asked you to do. And she said, you're welcome. But we put so much focus on I'm going to spank your bottom because you did this, or you're in timeout because of that. I'm going to take that. So give praise.
Yeah.
Give praise. Give praise even when you're at work. Celebrate your supervisor, celebrate your coworkers, do those type of things. You'll be amazed at what giving praise to individuals, how it'll carry them on in their day, and it will boost them in the workplace.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's good. Three things to leave us with. So everybody, that is, yeah, yeah. So everybody, this is Dexter Kilgore, amazing, dynamic speaker. You definitely want to be there for this. Um, we're going to be in Arkansas September 8th, Benton Event Center there in Benton, Arkansas. So if you're in Hot Springs, Little Rock, Benton, Bryant, any of those areas out there, please share this with men in your family. If you're a lady watching this and you've got a man in your life, this needs to get into his hands. This is going to be impactful, not just for him, but for you guys and your family as well. So, Dexter, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to doing this again very, very soon. I look forward to seeing you in September for sure, and rocking the house, man.
Hey man, I see a couple of people tied in LinkedIn from different states. I see one of my brothers from South Carolina and another one from North Carolina. Hey guys, if you need us to come to your state,
Yeah,
hey, inbox Chris or inbox myself. You guys have my direct contact, so hit me up so we can come to your state. I promise you, it is so impactful. It messes people's lives up for the better. So I'm telling you, our ultimate is to go around the world and show people that he leads, not that she's of no significance, because we have another piece that will come along later, Inspired to Lead, where we bring husbands and wives together. And we ain't gonna give you all of that sauce yet, but we're gonna get back
Yeah,
with y'all on
yeah.
that.
I mean, that's a great bill right there. It's definitely, if anybody on here is watching and you're not able to get to Arkansas, but this is something that you feel would impact you and where you're at, give one of us a contact, or give one of us a call. Contact us. We'd love to talk to you and see what we can do. Thank you, Dexter. That's amazing. All right, so
All right, Chris,
no,
man,
go
love
ahead.
you, man. I was
Oh,
just
I
saying I
love you
love you,
too, man.
man. We'll
Thanks for
talk
coming on
soon.
again. September 8th at Benton, Arkansas, at the Event Center. He leads Men's Professional Leadership Conference. We look forward to seeing you guys there. Thanks for joining us. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Yep.